welcome to Journey of One. This is a show where I travel around Southern California to check out fun events and interesting places to see. Thanks for watching. Let's begin the journey. This week I headed toward LA County's neighbor for the annual Orange County Fair. The OC Fair is probably the biggest fair and carnival event of the year in this part of SoCal and is a popular event for anyone living here. I came in through the Yellow Gate, which started me off in the livestock area, with a petting zoo right next to the entrance. There was also a series of interesting animals you could pay $1 to see up close and in person. First up was Darth Gator. This 14-foot dinosaur was crazy to see up close, and I was glad it was behind plenty of safety walls and glass. Next I saw Hercules, a huge horse whose back was even taller than my head, an impressive horse indeed. And then came White Mountain, a 3,450-pound massive steer. It's hard to translate how big it was on camera, but in person I was stunned by its size. In the livestock area, they had a few barns and stables filled with other farm animals, like these Angora goats. Not sure how camels classify as livestock, but they were neat to see nonetheless. Budweiser brought a host of their famous Clydesdales to the fair to see up close and in person, although a bit less impressive after seeing Hercules earlier, but it was really cool getting to see them parade around the grounds. The Action Sports Arena, they have lots of action-themed shows, like rodeos and demolition derbies. The hangar is where many of the live music acts performed. This day featured Damage Inc., a Metallica tribute band. In fact, there were quite a few live stages around the fair, headlined by the Pacific Amphitheater, where the biggest acts performed. The different stages all had something going on to entertain you while you relaxed or sat down to eat. Speaking of eating, be sure to come hungry to the fair, because there is so much good food cooking all over the place. No matter what you're craving, they have it here, and if you weren't craving it before, you will be after you get a whiff of the food grilling right alongside the pathways. It was hard to resist wanting to reach out and grab a turkey leg or a skewer and spend all day enjoying these delicious foods. And if you were on a diet, forget about it. They have plenty of ridiculous food here that'd bust even the hardiest gut out there. Once you are all stuffed from your main course, you still won't be able to help being tempted by the plethora of desserts available. As I was walking along, I came across this Skyline, a lift that ferried people across the fair from one side to the other, and I knew I had to give it a go. It's a great and relaxing way to get across the fair, and also a good way to get orientated and get an idea of where everything is. Just don't look down if you're scared of heights. This is the main square, right in the middle of the fair, with a fun set of water fountains for the kids to play in and cool off on these hot summer days. It's also right in front of the hangar stage I mentioned earlier, albeit now I was viewing it from a bit higher up. Beyond the main square was the kids-themed area of the park, beginning with the Explorium, a neat hands-on place for crafts and kids to pretend to be on a farm or be a pet vet. There was even a neat magic show going on when I passed through. Next was the Kids Carnival area, with a bunch of rides and attractions aimed for the youngsters to try who maybe aren't ready for the bigger versions for the adults. They had some neat looking fun houses and jungle gym areas that made me wish I was a kid again so I could go play in them as well. There were smaller versions of roller coasters and some mega slides to go down that were made for the youngins to enjoy. There were also plenty of boardwalk style games they could play to win prizes and not have to compete against adults, although I saw quite a few grown-ups who weren't above giving them a play as well to try and win a prize. There was even a kid's Ferris wheel that was right next to the end of the Skyline track. At the other end of the fair was a host of vendors and booths selling lots of interesting items. I was personally really interested in this booth selling arcade cabinets loaded with old classic arcade games. There was even a family circus doing magic tricks over on this side. Walking back on the south side of the fair, I passed through the Centennial Farm area. This is where they showed various crops being grown and plants and seeds for any green thumbs who might be attending the fair. There's also plenty of farm animals, like this mama hog and her little piglets running around. Also around were some lambs, chickens, this young calf, as well as some ponies to get up close to. Back towards the main square was the Carnival of Products, which was an indoor swap meet of sorts, with dozens upon dozens of booths selling various products and interesting things. There were pitchmen selling a variety of food preparation items, hose nozzles, and even a mattress or two being shown here. Thing that surprised me to see was this visual arts gallery. It was filled with lots of beautiful artwork and sculptures, from young kids to teenagers, both amateurs and professionals. I love this three-dimensional koi pond piece. It looks so real. Nearby was the OC Promenade for culinary arts, and beyond that was the woodworking and crafts art gallery. I always am a fan of handmade items. I love the craftsmanship and creativeness that goes into them, and applaud the talent and people who make them. I'd finally come to the part of the park I'd been waiting for, the Carnival. Here they had some of the coolest and most extreme carnival rides I'd seen in quite a while. Many of them challenged you to see how well you could hold down all that delicious fair food you'd eaten all day. Oh yeah, and I hope after that Skyline you're okay with heights, because rides like the Skyflyer take you way up and send you flying around. After seeing all the kids on their slides having fun, I knew I couldn't pass up this giant slide. The centerpiece of the carnival was the Le Grand Wheel, a giant Ferris wheel that towered over everything. It gave some incredible views of the fair and the beautiful Orange County surrounding it. Thanks to Jim and Emily, two nice strangers who let me ride with them as the operators wouldn't let me go by myself. The last ride of the day for me was this water log ride. I needed to cool off as the sun had been beating down hard all day. There were two drops, first a smaller one to get you prepared and a little damp before taking me up to the big drop. With one last look at the fair, we went down for a big splash, getting soaked in the cool water. The OC Fair has a limited time run ending August 14th, so hurry and visit if you can, otherwise be sure to plan to come next year. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you think of the video. Visit journeyofone.com for more videos, bonus content, and to see what's coming up next on future videos. See you next week as I go on another Journey of One.